friends. Welcome back to Anu Talk Show. How are you doing? Hope you are having a great day. So, today I want to talk to you about something that goes so much deeper than the price that we see on your sales page, on your checkout page. We're going to talk about deeper than the strategies, deeper than the surface level conversations we keep having in this coaching industry. And this video is specifically for my women of color coaches and industry experts. So I want to talk about the emotional and physiological realities of charging high ticket as a woman of color coach, and why this is simply not just a business decision. It is an identity transformation that requires you to confront generations of conditioning, cultural expectations, self imposed limits, and the internalized belief that you must shrink who you are to be accepted, to be approved of, and to be validated. Because the price you are saying out loud is never just the price. It's about visibility, it's about safety, and it's about the identity you hold. It's about allowing yourself to be fully seen without filtering, without softening your messaging or adjusting to avoid making others uncomfortable. And I worked with hundreds of women of color coaches. And as a woman of color, the weight of that expectation is heavy. It really sits in our body, it shapes your nervous system, and it really influences your voice. And that's why I want to have this conversation with you, because it affects how you show up on camera, how you communicate your offer in your messaging when you have a sales call, even in your sales page, and how you boldly speak on stages with your prospects, and how you confidently stand behind your work. And that's what we are going to do today. We're going to talk about the real truth of why charging high ticket is not only ethical for you, but essential for your well being, for your leadership, for the sustainability of your business, and the transformation you hold for your clients, the space, the capacity you hold within your coaching container. Hi guys, welcome. If you have any questions about why charging high ticket is ethical, if you have questions about your pricing, let me know in the comment section, and at the end of this episode I will go over it. So first I want to start with the real reason why high ticket pricing feels so terrifying for a lot of women of color coaches and industry experts. It's not because your offer lacks value. Actually, it's the opposite. Also, not because you doubt your ability to deliver results. Most of my clients, the women of color coaches and industry experts I work with, they have years of experience. They have 10 plus years of experience. They have the proof, they have the client results, and they still hesitate to charge more. It also is not because you are inexperienced. As I said, I work with hundreds of women of color coaches. They all have experiences, but they still hesitated to charge more. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fear, because the fear here is rooted in something far more primal, right? The fear of being fully seen without shrinking, without softening your voice, without people pleasing your people. Because when you stand in your power and you say the high ticket price out loud, you expose parts of yourself that you were taught to hide for so many years. So you reveal the part of you that is capable. And that is terrifying, because the part of you that is powerful, the part of you that is confident, that part of you that is unapologetic, right? The part of you that takes up space without asking for permission. So that part of you says, I am worth to charge 5K and 10K. And that level of exposure can feel emotionally dangerous when your nervous system has been shaped by lived experiences where being visible or too visible came with consequences, right? Because many of women of color raised with the messaging that trained us to be humble, trained us to be polite in any situation, trained us to be agreeable, trained us to stay quiet, to be useful, to be dependable, to be the easygoing child, to be flexible, to be non disruptive. Who can relate to this message? We learned to make ourselves smaller so that others could feel comfortable around us. We learned to bend. We learned to adapt this in the situation. We learned to absorb. We learned to listen more than we should speak, than we should raise our voices. We learned to blend in even when we had something powerful to say, something powerful to offer. And now in your coaching business, when you are raising your prices, you are on this journey, on this path to hit your six figures. This conditioning shows up in the form of hesitating before posting something bold. You rather post for sake of posting instead of posting something bold. You are whispering your price on a sales call in the DMs in your content instead of speaking it boldly, instead of saying it out loud with the transformation in your mind. You are waiting for more validation outside of you before launching the offer that you need to launch to get more clients. And you are questioning every minute whether your work is worth it, whether this transformation is worth paying 3K, 5K, even though you know it is. You can consciously say, yes, it is, but when it comes to the situation where you have to say your price out loud, you hesitate. And this is why pricing feels emotional, because it is tied to identity and to your safety. It requires you to step into the version of yourself that your environment never taught you how to hold it. And now you have to teach it to yourself how you can hold that. Hold that identity and safety to charge high ticket. So let's talk about what you experience on a daily basis where you can see how this is actually affecting your business and the success of your business as well. So before you sit down to run your business, to start your day, you are already carrying a full emotional load. You are checking in on family members. You are handling responsibilities. You are managing cultural expectations. You are being the emotional support system for others. And you are holding space for people long before you hold space for your clients, for your paying clients. So your day starts with emotional labor. And because you have normalized it, cannot say this word, you don't even see how much it actually costs you. So when you finally get to your desk and you think about your business decision to actually raise your prices, your body already feels depleted. You feel the pressure of everything you carry, and then you feel the pressure of your business on top of that. So you feel the fear of judgment. You feel the fear of rejection. Like, oh my God, what if I actually charge more and then I get the next rejection? I cannot handle that. You feel the fear of disappointing someone. What if I charge 3K and they are not getting the return on investment? You feel the fear of being misunderstood. You feel the fear of not being accessible, right? You want to work with everyone, so you want to be the access to everyone, and all of that fear sits in your body as you name your price. And no wonder why you cannot raise your prices right now. No wonder that you are undercharged and over delivering within your coaching container. So you hesitate not because you doubt your value, but because you're already emotionally exhausted. So your nervous system right now is already stretched thin. So you are overextending. And when you think about expanding, of charging more, holding more visibility within your program, within your brand, being seen by more people in the industry, that feels like too much. Not because you cannot handle it, but because you have spent your entire life handling too much and now you don't know how to add more. And this is the part nobody talks about it, because your pricing is affected by the emotional responsibilities you carry, not just the skill you have. So I want to actually paint the picture of the cause that is happening when you undercharge. So when you are a woman of color coach, an industry expert, you have years of experience, you have the degree, you have the certifications, and you still undercharge, let me show you why you are doing a disservice for yourself. So when you charge less than the transformation you deliver, you don't just earn less money. Okay, that's a part of it. Okay, you pay with your energy, you pay with emotional bandwidth, you pay with your time, you pay with your creativity, you pay with your joy, you pay with your sense of purpose, you pay with your capacity to show up. So it's not just that you earn less money, it's all the other things that are also happening because you are undercharging. So undercharging slowly drains your spirit. That is what I'm hearing in all of my sales call. And when clients starts to work with me, they are so drained in their spirit. It creates resentment in your body. You start resenting your business because it takes so much from you, but it gives you back so little because you made the decision, the business decision to charge less. You start to resenting your clients because you are constantly over delivering and you are not being compensated energetically or financially. You start resenting sales. That's why you are not doing sales calls anymore. That's why you are hesitating to do sales call. That's why you are hesitating to have DM conversations, because you are tired of convincing yourself that you are allowed to charge more. You start resenting yourself because you know you are worth more, but you don't feel safe acting on it. Who can relate to this? Let me know in the comment section. Because it's not that you cannot charge high ticket, right? It's not that you cannot figure out how to charge high ticket. It's that you have been conditioned to believe it's selfish. For us women of color coaches, we were taught and conditioned to believe charging more, earning more, it's selfish, it's greedy, or excessive, even though it's the most ethical choice you can make. And that's why you need to also be in coaching containers where these topics are so normal to talk about. So the longer you undercharge as a woman of color coach, the more you reinforce the identity of the version of you who survived by shrinking. My question for you is, are you still shrinking? Are you still avoid being visible because you are afraid of being seen? That's why you are afraid to say your price out loud. You begin to disconnect from your brilliance. You have such a great gift. Now you cannot leverage that expertise because you are disconnected from that. You begin to shrink your voice. You are whitewashing your messaging so that you are not making other people uncomfortable. You begin to doubt your purpose, right? You begin to doubt if coaching and if coaching other people, impacting other people, building this brand globally, you doubt this purpose right now. You begin to question your worth. You begin to actually disappear piece by piece. Piece by piece. And in 2 years from now, maybe I won't see your content anymore because you are giving up on your purpose. So over time, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You feel exhausted, you feel stretched thin, emotionally fragile, and you convince yourself that this is normal. This is not normal, my friends. This is a symptom of undercharging. All of that, what I have mentioned right now. Charging more is ethical. Yes, charging more is so ethical. It is what you need to do in order to run this business sustainably. It's also a business model decision you have to make, and I'm going to actually talk about that in the next pieces. So, high ticket pricing creates transformation not just for you. I truly believe when you charge more, when you charge based on the transformation you deliver, it is also very transformational for you as the woman of color coach. It allows you to create a container where you can show up fully resourced, emotionally grounded. You can be present with every single client you have. You can be intentional and powerful. So it gives your clients the best version of you. Not the one who's exhausted, not the one who's burnt out, not the one who's stretched thin. So charging high ticket is ethical because you cannot deliver deep transformation from a place of depletion. So you cannot hold space for breakthroughs. You cannot increase your capacity when you are operating from survival mode. So the biggest question is, what kind of business model do you want to run? Do you want to impact all of the people on this earth but charge less and have a little transformation? Or do you want to actually talk to little people, work with less people, but have the biggest transformation in their life? What is the business model you are after? Based on that, you can decide if you want to charge more or not. Because I have decided from the beginning that I am not after the masses. I am not. I am here to change. Even if I'm changing 10 people's life, that is enough for me. But in order for me to actually change 10 people's life, I will charge more money. Because my whole thing is to hold space and have the capacity for my clients to let breakthroughs happen. Because you cannot support your clients when you are drowning in emotional labor. You cannot lead others into expansion while you are shrinking yourself. So high ticket pricing honors the depth of your work. It honors your lived experience. It honors the cultural wisdom you hold. It honors the emotional labor you invest. It honors your leadership. It honors your identity. So when your clients invest at a higher level, you step into the new identity. And when they actually step into the new identity, they move differently. They take themselves seriously. They show up fully in your coaching container. They are committed and they want to see that transformation for themselves, because the investment becomes a part of that transformation, because it reflects the identity they are growing into. And I truly believe that. And if you charge high ticket creates safety. It creates that spaciousness that you need. It creates emotional regulation, and it creates the stability and the sustainability for your business, because it allows you to coach from overflow instead of depletion, right? So it allows you to actually lead from being grounded instead of having this fear, I need the next client, otherwise I don't have the money. Right? So your pricing is connected to your visibility. So when you are hiding, your price feels heavy. When you are shrinking your voice, when you are whitewashing your message, your price feels too bold. Your price feels out of alignment. So when you are diluting your voice in your content, your price feels too much. This is why the version of you who charges high ticket cannot be the same version of you who hides behind educational posts, who hides behind over explaining, apologizing for selling, adjusting her tone, filters her message, whitewashing it, and who's waiting for approval, who stays small to make others feel comfortable. So visibility requires you to meet the version of yourself who is not afraid to take up space. You won't and don't have to apologize for your brilliance. You own, or you have to own, your leadership. You have to speak with conviction, and you have to also know that you will talk against some of the opinions that are existing in the industry, and you have to not shrink when you are being misunderstood by some of the people on this earth. You have to trust your message, you have to trust your process and your power. And when you access that version of you, when you overcome the fear of being seen, when you are visible, when you learn how to sell from visibility, your price becomes the natural extension of your identity. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to explain it to your people. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to convince anyone. You simply say it out loud and you stand behind it boldly. And the right clients feel the resonance immediately. And those are the clients you really want to work with. So you don't have to shift into being a high ticket coach by collecting more information, by collecting certification, by collecting free beta clients. You shift by expanding your identity. You shift by holding more visibility, more attention, more demand, more responsibility. You shift by choosing to show up even when your body wants to shrink. You shift by committing to yourself at a deeper level than you ever have. And that transformation doesn't happen because you read a script or you memorize your sales call script. It happens when you step into that new version of yourself who, like the one who understands that her work is so valuable, that her voice has so much power to change people's life. That is the shift you need to make in order to increase your price, in order to charge high ticket. Again, charging high ticket is morally right. You should do it as a woman of color coach and industry expert. And you are not doing it because of all of that conditioning holding you back. So if you take anything from this conversation, let this be this. Charging high ticket is not greedy, it's not selfish, it's not excessive. It is honoring the depth of work you are providing for your ideal clients, for your clients inside your coaching container. It is honoring the years of wisdom you carry. It is honoring the lived experience. It is honoring the certifications you have, the degree you got, the emotional labor you put. It is honoring the generational legacy you are building and the transformation your clients are receiving by working with you. Your visibility is very powerful. You have to own that your voice matters and that your price matters as well. And when you are a woman of color and you are choosing to honor your worth, you are shifting your lineage, you are shifting your community and your future as well. Because your business gets to be big, your impact gets to be deep and globally, and your income gets to reflect the expertise you have because you are leveraging that, and you deserve to rise and to build a community without shrinking. So I hope this message helped you to see why you need to charge more as a woman of color coach. And I would love to hear from you what kind of thoughts you are having when it comes to charging high ticket. My DMs on Instagram are open, so just shoot me a DM, let me know um, what you are thinking, and then yeah, I'm happy to have this conversation with you privately. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I talk